Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a nice fall evening. Starting to get a little bit chilly here. Okay, as you can see, the markets are still absolutely moving sideways, except there's a little telltale indicator right now, and that's over in the NASDAQ. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. What's happening here? There we go. Remember kind of our observation of what happens if you're in a flat trading range and the final day is a doji. That usually means this indecision has finally come to a point. So tomorrow when we wake up, we need to see which way they have the futures. More than likely, if they gap it one way or the other, that's going to be the direction of the market for the next little while. So that's going to kind of give us a direction, and that could be strong enough to finally break one way or the other, and at least let us know whether we should be predominantly short or predominantly long. Trying to think of anything that is moving around with any great resiliency. The crude oil chart, kind of look at this, see if I can do a trend. You're just broken out through that level. I don't know if there's a you're kind of right here on these resistance levels on crude oil, which isn't unusual because everything else is pretty much moving sideways. And gold is still stuck in a range, but notice what it did. Oops, I thought it was up today. Oh, silver. You can see we're still stuck sideways in gold, but silver, maybe I was looking at something different. Huh, I goofed that up. Silver's still in the sideways mode. The grains popped up. Oh, this is the one that will pop up. Watching soybeans to see if they can come out of this little cradle type pattern. Notice where it was supporting right here at this level, obviously. Now, if they get it up through the 50, there might be some running room there. Corn was somewhat the same scenario, but it did break through the 50. So there might be a little bit more enthusiasm in corn, and we're still short cotton. Ever since the evening star signal up here, we haven't gotten back up above the T line. Stochastic still heading down. Kind of broke this little downtrending support level. Still have the prospect of this heading down to the 200-day moving average as a blue lace failure. And still short live cattle. As you can see, there's kind of a downtrend going on. And if I can do this correctly, and see where the bottom of this trend is, which makes this our likely target. And lean hogs, see this is wave one, wave two, still in wave three. A doji today makes this very simple. We'll start covering our short position on hogs if they open up positive, and especially if they come back up through the high of today's trading. So the downtrend obviously needs to open lower and continue down. All right. Even though the market is relatively sideways, which it has been now for the last 3 months, we're not that far away from where we were right in here. Oh, pshaw. I'm slowing down because the skunk is back, and apparently the skunk needs depends because something's leaking and it's overwhelming in the house, and I've got all the doors shut. Anyways, BVX was recommended because notice what it did. A double doji breakout on Friday telling us wave 3 is now in progress. That's why we recommended it on positive trading this morning. Another one that we've been holding, which has been acting very well, is CEWI. Nice steady uptrend. We covered some right here and bought it back when it came back up through this level. Still a nice steady uptrend. REN, same scenario. Closed it out here, bought it back here. The uptrend is still in progress. Now, the one that got soggy today was Goro. There's your bearish engulfing or Piers dark cloud and a lower open. It has to open positive. Oh man, hold on for a second. I got rid of this animal. Sorry about that. And the little thing just stinks up the whole house. Ah. So I went out and scared the skunk away, but the raccoon just kind of looked at me as if I was disturbing the dinner. So Guru needs to open positive and trade positive. And MRTX, another one that we've been holding. Notice how it's pulled back very indecisively, back to the T-line. This is one where if they open this positive tomorrow, you want to be buying because there'll be another strong move to the upside. Going to go through some of the ones that we're holding and the reasons why. LPG, as you can see, did the bobble, breakout through the 50, T-line crunch. And when they do that, it usually shows good strength, that there was enough strength to push it through that resistance level. Still looks like it's got good enough move or strength to get back up into this area, up another 15%. Yeah, very light volume. So a lot of people ask, do you trade volume? If I can see that there's really no conviction during the pullback, yeah, that's kind of another telltale indication that if they're pulling back indecisively with very low volume, means that they're really not anxious to sell. Frank, the Guru was a dark cloud. No, it wouldn't have been any more bearish. It still has to have a sell signal and a close below the T line. So it didn't matter what sell signal it was. Whiting, you can get ready to buy this one, especially if they open up positive and break through this little level. Let's see, the high today was $8.99. If they come up through the 9 level tomorrow, you might see a kind of a double doji breakout. And as long as this one stays above the moving averages, you might see this move pretty strong, like back up into the $12 to $15 area, giving you a good 30 to 50% upside. That was, let's see, AKS. This is why you want to know what a bobble is. You can see the obvious, where they bounced off the 200, they pushed up to the 50, started selling it off, but notice the one thing, they can't close this below the T-line. You ready to buy this if it comes back up through the 50, because that bobble breakout, if this is wave 1, tells us wave 3 is going to be up in this area someplace, another 20, 25% to the upside. LPCN. Just observe the obvious. There's your fry pan bottom, classic J-hook. Another one you can be buying on positive trading with also the potential of coming up to fill the gap, which would be up about a 50%. And you could get pretty close to an 80% move if it comes up to the 200-day moving average. So two things that you want to analyze when you're looking at a chart. One, is there a pattern setup that could give you a high probability, high profit trade? And what is the profitability of that trade? Now, if this was a nice pattern and it was going to move up 6%, probably not worthwhile. But if you can look at a pattern and see that the first target is 20% away and the second target's 60% away, those are the ones that you probably want to go after. If they work, you make big upside. So at least you're putting your money someplace where the potential of analyzing that chart is greatly in your favor and that the results will be very profitable for you. Another J-hook pattern in the making on LC or LMCA or LMCK, either one of them. But LMCA obviously has options, so you can see what's happening here. When they hit the bobble, went through, now still in this at least a 45-degree to the upside, as long as you stay above the T-line. Let's see, going down this list. B5, all you can do is stay long. Just watch to see what it does once it gets up to this level. If they break out, you're going to be heading up into this area. We recommended TXPE. As you can see, wave 1, wave 2, hammer, hammer, breaking through this downtrending channel. You want to stay long on this one. This one has a potential, if it moved from 15 to 30, 15 points from here takes you up to the $41 area. And EBS, I saw people were concerned about it backing and filling today. Oh, and I don't have the 3T line, but it came right back to the 3T line today. I'd still be a buyer of this one on positive trading. First target definitely is up here at the 200. And with the kicker signal, fry pan bottom breakout, go much higher. This could be a good 20, 25% upside. That was EBS. We have HQY. Bought the calls when it came out of the J-hook pattern. Stay long until you see a sell signal and a close below the T-line. Those calls are working out nicely. AGIO had been acting very strong. Now you can see what's setting up, another J-hook pattern. So if it moves to the next wave, we're looking at something up in this area, a good price move. NVIDIA, just a nice steady eddy. You just stay long on this one. And Lending Club, this one you have to watch. If it starts trading lower tomorrow, you can see that the energy has gone out. Your stochastic's heading down, and they could be coming back to test the 50. So to stay long, this one definitely has to open positive. You've got that same scenario where you've been moving sideways. Now you have a doji right at this end. It's going to move in the direction how they open this. So probably that will be a function of how the market opens tomorrow also. CC, all you can do is stay long. I would still use the T-line as my stop. As long as it doesn't close below the T-line, we know the uptrend is in progress. ARIA, hammer, hammer, right on the T-line. If this opens positive, you've got the classic fry pan bottom breakout, J-hook pattern. And CRBP is one that we still have on the watch list. It's setting up for that J-hook pattern. Same classic pattern, fry pan bottom, strong price move, consolidation. Get ready to start buying this one on strength. All right, a few that we've been watching. PTX broke out today. I'd look for wave 3. SeaWorld. This is kind of the observe the obvious. You had a gap up through the 50, use the 50 as support, now move stronger, filled this little gap. You stay long on this as long as it stays above the T-line. Fred's Discount Stores. There's your best friend. You can be buying this one. Look for your first target at the 50-day moving average. Another, wave 3 in progress, and notice how it turned around. Big morning star signal. You stay long on this one. I'd still be a buyer of this one on positive trading, because if they open it and start trading positive, where do you think they're going to? At least coming up here to test this level. If they break through, look for another move like this one. TRNC, again, look where they did the piercing signal, right off the 50. They gapped it up today, right at the breakout level. Makes this very simple. If it opens positive, you start buying immediately. And Q, there's your big fry pan bottom. Have a buy stop right up here. It comes up through there, it's breaking out. That was somewhat what we were looking for on IMS. Not enabled. IMS is not coming. IMS. That's not coming up. I don't know whether they were in a merger or whatever. So here's the type that you want to always keep an eye on. That little slow curve. Because that's the type of results you can get coming out of a slow curve. I'm kicking myself because I didn't see this, but if I'd seen this one and opened positive today, that's where your ultimate timing kicks in. Because if you know it opens positive, coming out of a slow curve and a little best friend signal, that if they start trading positive, what's it telling you? One, they're confirming the slow curve pattern, and two, they're telling you they're not going to resist at the 50 anymore, and that's where everybody is likely to start jumping in. And TGP, another little slow curve right at the breakout area. Another one that you can be buying on positive trading tomorrow. And EKSO, this was more back here, but anytime they break it out, then consolidate it, and then start taking it back up, these are the type that have the potential of having big upside moves, basically because that breakout told you there's a new dynamic. So if you're looking at a breakout like this where it's been indecisive and they break it out, you're going to get a big price move. Now look what it's doing. Kind of a wedge formation with a slow curve. You can be buying this one on positive trading, anticipating a slow curve breakout will break through this level and take you up pretty strong. Again, these are just kind of identifying chart patterns that have big upside potentials right at this time. Very much looking for the timing element of getting in just as it's breaking out. So you're not sitting in a position for weeks or months waiting for it to do something. Cray, we were short, held up pretty well today, but you can see that it's having a hard time getting up through the 50. So to stay short, it has to start trading lower. If it starts trading positive, pretty much tells us the 50 is just kind of a resistance level versus a something that's really knocking it down hard. And Nugget came right back to the 200 as expected. Still wouldn't do anything with Nugget. You're still in this wedge formation. It needs to break one way or the other. Go. Big bearish engulfing signal. Notice today it did a doji that used the 50 as resistance. If it opens lower, get ready to short it. There's a good possibility they could come back down and fill the gap where your best friend signal started. So a lot of people say, well, don't gaps always get filled? They do, but it may not be on this move. It may be on this move. So that's why you use gaps as a target. But not necessarily a deterrent for getting in or out of a position where something's happening right now. A kicker signal on TDC. A lower open probably would take you down to the 200-day moving average. ALGN, kicker signal. You can see how it was stuck in this range. Now you had a kicker signal below it. Another one that has the prospects of coming all the way back down to the 200. An MCRB, which was a good chart potential, is now fizzled. Might look to go short on this one because they could be bringing it back down in here, which again would be about a 30% move to the downside. DVA looks like a bearish scoop pattern. There's your failure of the T-line. You can start shorting this on weakness. Just watch to see what it does once it gets here. If it breaks that level, now you've got wave 1, wave 2, going into wave 3, which take you down 14 points, take you down into about the $50 range. Okay, I guess that's about all we got tonight. Again, there's not a whole lot of excitement. Oh, I didn't get to the biggies. Netflix did break out. And notice where it broke out, right here at the 50, broke out of this range. You're right back into this. Look for it to do a 45-degree off of here. And AMBA is, again, your ultimate timing setup. Look where it did the doji. Right here at the breakout level. If it opens positive tomorrow, what can we anticipate? Probably a doji sandwich, which would tell us we're going into wave 3 and probably heading back up into this trajectory. Let's see. You have Tesla. I do Tesla right now. Not a kicker signal, just a best friend signal. I'd still be a buyer of this one if it comes up through the moving averages. And Amazon, still in this nice steady uptrend ever since it broke this resistance level. There's your double doji setup. You just stay long. At this point, just for safety, put your sell stop at today's low. It shouldn't come back down through that level. And Apple, just nothing. Still needs to break that little drifting downtrending channel. And Twitter did a J-hook type pattern. Notice where it gapped up. Whoops, gapped up. You're in a 45-degree right now as long as it stays above the T-line. Anyways, your strongest patterns as far as timing and profitability are these little slow curves looking for a breakout. And in this case, the breakout was right there at the 50-day moving average. Why you're calling this best friend on Tesla? Isn't that a gap after a doji? Well, that pretty much, yeah. Still call it a best friend. It's kind of got an indecision, bullish harami, gap up. I think there is a scan for slow curves. Does somebody have that scan? I know Ed C. probably did that a while back. How do you tell a slow curve from a fry pan bottom? Usually a slow curve will be during the uptrend, whereas a fry pan bottom is usually down at the bottom starting the next uptrend. A best friend, which one was our best friend? Yeah. Yeah. A slow curve is usually, let's see, what did we do for, I'll show you some as we go through. But a slow curve is usually during the uptrend. What tool do you use to find the chart patterns you're looking for? Brian, it's usually something that you can see setting up, and it may be just by finding, doing a simple scan for the biggest percent price move on any given day. What do we do? Q. That had a big price move on Friday. And if you look at that chart and say, all right, big price move, immediately we can see there's a fry pan bottom setting up. So you're going to find a lot of them just by other simple scans. Slow curve doesn't necessarily have to be a J-hook. A slow curve like we saw on CATM, it's kind of a J-hook, but usually a J-hook is after a strong price move and then another strong price move. This one really was just kind of setting up. Is there a particular tool you use that you recommend? As far as, again, the simple scans. We'll do a scanning session here in the next week or so that new people can figure out which ones to use to find the best trades. Okay, any other general questions on candlesticks? Let's hold on. Yep. Would you buy after a friend? It opens. You buy after a friend if it opens. No. Remember, we have the other simple. I'd be buying if it opened positive and started trading positive, because that's what this force right here from the bullish Harami gap up was telling us. Don, yes, I did watch the Steelers. That kind of consumed the night, but it was a relaxing one finally where you didn't have to wait for the last 30 seconds to see who's going to win. CJ, no. There's lots of adages that you don't have to pay attention to, like sell in May and go away, or Santa Claus rally, all those things that are kind of general adages. We don't have to pay attention to those. We can see exactly what's happening in the markets themselves or in the charts themselves. So remember, adages are things that could happen. The chart is telling you exactly what is happening right now. We do have a stop loss. I think we've already done it for members. I think it's a paid session for non-members. Do we have a stop loss special scheduled for tomorrow night? All right. Richard, yes, the AMBA is one of the ones that I would be looking to be buying on positive trading. The moving averages are, the red one is the 200, the blue is the 50, and the gray is the 20. These are all simple moving averages. The black line is the T-line. That's the most important one. Very simply stated, if you see a candlestick buy signal and a close above the T-line, you can stay long until you see a candlestick sell signal and a close back below the T-line. Or get ready to buy back if you see a candlestick buy signal and a close back up above the T-line. Don't use level 2. I only use level 2 when I'm making my trades, especially in the commodity area. I've got level 2 on there just to see where I'm going to put my trade in. Will the market be closed next Monday on Columbus Day? Ooh, I don't know. Anybody know? And is eBay a belt hold? Yes, I think we saw that earlier today. The eBay was kind of a belt hold, which means notice where it was a belt hold from, right off the 50-day moving average. Makes this very simple. Bulls and the bears fighting, bulls and bears fighting. all of a sudden a lot of the bears sell and the bulls sop up all that selling. It means there's no bears in the way anymore. That's where your next wave can start pretty strong. So again, as far as an option or even a stock timing element, this could have been a drifting uptrend, but as soon as the belt hold steps in, wipes out a lot of the sellers, gets them out of the way, that's when a very strong move can start. Okay, only the bond market, that usually slows things down a little bit in the stock market. Okay, bank holiday, all right. Yes, if there's a close above the T line in an uptrend, if there's not a sell signal, I give it one more day. But I have to see it open positive and trade positive. If there's a sell signal and then a close below the T line, I close it out. You can always buy it back because that's telling you a couple things. One, with a close below the T line, the probabilities of a downtrend being in progress is that much greater. And two, if there's a sell signal and confirmed with a close below the T line, the sell signal is the number one criteria for getting in and out of a trade. And that is why we're here looking at candlestick signals, is because those signals are what tell us that there's been a change of investor sentiment. Frank, you close out an option based upon what the underlying stock is doing, because an option is merely a method for buying that stock. So if you see a candlestick sell signal on the stock and it closes below the T line, that tells you you wouldn't be in that stock, so you wouldn't be in the options. You close out the options. Okay, I guess with that, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. And in 3.6 seconds, do the next double line. Lou, there's 12 major signals. 6 of them are buy signals and 6 of them are sell signals. That's your bricks and mortar of candlesticks. They're on the website or in either one of the books or any of the books that I've written. They're all well described. Again, that's the bricks and mortar. That's the basis of candlestick analysis. Western Refining, I'd get ready to buy this one on positive trading. CVRR, that has never really come back yet. Another refiner. Clovis, get ready to buy this one on positive trading. There's your fry pan bottom, usually at the bottom of a trend. Then your J-hook pattern. What's a prerequisite for a J-hook? A very strong price move. What's a result of a fry pan bottom? A very strong price move. So they act in conjunction with each other. This one you've got a piercing signal. This one you can be buying on positive trading, that J-hook pattern. And BIOS kind of broke this resistance level. Kind of your slow curve J-hook also. And notice what it did today. Opened positive after a doji and broke out. You just stay long on this one. Just make sure your volume is good. Polaris, just stay long. More than likely, by the time you get up here in the overbought area, you've come up to fill this gap. Just see what it does once it fills the gap. And AGTC, you stay long on this one. Same scenario. It's got a good potential of coming up here, filling the gap, giving you about a 20-25% upside. XIV, slow uptrend. You just stay long as long as it stays above the T line. Tazar, you probably should have been closing it out. Anytime you see a drastic move like this, that means there's been injury. More than likely now you could be heading down to the 200-day moving average. Hydra. Hydra, you get ready to buy. Today was not a buy. I'd be more apt to buy it if it comes back up through the high of Friday. That would tell me the J-hook pattern is in progress. OCN, just stay long on this one. Another one that's got the potential of breaking out for that slow fry pan bottom. CRR, nice morning star signal, double doji. Stay long. Obviously watch to see what it does once it gets to the 50-day moving average. Micron has earnings tomorrow, so you definitely want to see what it does going into the earnings. Usually the smart money will be telling you whether they think the earnings are going to be good or bad. And TDW, another one that's kind of caught in this sideways mode. Probably there's nothing here yet. I would rather see some more strength, probably breaking at least this downward trend channel. But nothing right there that would really get me excited yet on that one. APVO, same scenario. Wouldn't be long or short this one. You can't be short, but I wouldn't be in this one. There's just nothing there showing any great strength. GWPH, all you can do is stay long. You've got a doji and a hanging man. Put your stop at today's low. It shouldn't come back through there. And GTN, you're having a hard time getting out of this congestion area. If you're long, you definitely have to watch to see if it gets through the 50, breaking this little channel. Another one that I wouldn't be real excited about because there really isn't any trend to it. JC Penney just has a hard time getting out of its own way. If you're short, you stay short. Just watch to see what it does once you're down here at the 200 to see if it's going to support there. If it doesn't, definitely don't want to be in it or stay short. Kinder Morgan, you stay long, but notice where you are right now, right smack dab on this resistance level, which would tell me that if they open this lower tomorrow and start trading lower, I'd probably take profits and then just put a buy stop right up above this level. Let's see, we did the sell signal. There's 6 sell signals. Pretty much the opposite of the buy signals. EC, if you stayed long on this one, you stay in it. Just don't let it close back below the T line. Whiting, you just stay long on this one. You can be buying this one on positive trading. Cypress, nothing here real exciting. Very slow uptrend, and that's kind of the criteria, very slow. Wells Fargo, you stay short until you see any change of investor sentiment. Bank of America. Bank of America, if you like it, you can be buying this one on positive trading. It's just not a very fast mover. Yeah, just not a big percent mover. MRTX, kind of a big fry pan bottom. Still waiting for this to break out. If it does break out, it's got good upside potential. First target up here, second target here, third target up here. So you've got some things that could really make this a big mover. And VCell. Fry pan bottom, you don't want to see it close below the T line. If it closes below the T line, then you wait to see if it's going to support here on the 200. But if you're long right now, it would definitely have to open positive tomorrow to stay in it. STX, just stay long. Use the T line as your stop. iTub, nothing real exciting here until they can break out through this level. I'd rather buy it at 1180, knowing it broke through this resistance level. And RWLK, Nothing real exciting here either. Needs to get through the 50. Willow. That's a toughie. I probably would have been out of it this morning on a lower open because of your left-right combo sell signal. You can always buy it back if it comes back up above the T line. Netties, another one that you should have been out of the last couple of days. Now you can be buying it back if it opens positive tomorrow. Telling you it's staying up above the T line. SGY, nothing real fantastic here either. You've got a wedge formation. You don't really have anything that's showing any compelling buying. I'd probably put a buy stop right up here, which would tell me it's broken this downward trend channel with the anticipation it's going to move up to test the 200. Las Vegas Sands, J-hook. Get ready to buy this one on positive trading tomorrow. CELG, still nothing real exciting about this stock. If you're short, you stay short, but it has to open lower tomorrow. If it opens higher, at least figure they're going to bounce it back up to the T line. And CRL, Charles River Labs. Left-right combo. You can see that you're kind of got into that bobble. You can buy this one on positive trading tomorrow, telling you the bobble J-hook pattern's in progress. Micron, we did. You just wait to see what it does going into the close tomorrow. Did we do GBT? This one doesn't have anything real exciting to it. It did have a kicker signal. It hasn't confirmed yet. So I'd still put my buy stop at 24.20. Needs to get up through that level. Cone. Ready to go? Not really. Nothing yet to show there's any, even a pattern set up at this point. TCK. Another one that has to open positive to stay in it. If it opens lower, you've run out of steam up here. And ECA, which was acting well, still acting well. Stay long on this one. AREX. As long as you're staying above the T line, you can stay long. Wave 3 in progress. But you definitely want to see this open and show some strength tomorrow. If it lollygags and heads to the T line, I'd probably close it out and wait for the next buy signal. Ballard Power, nice strong move breakout today. Again, notice where it broke out right through this level. You stay long, anticipating could get up to this level and start a 45 degree from there. Visa, nothing exciting here. First of all, it's an institutional trader, number one. Number two, there's really no great direction to it. I'd be someplace else. STLD, yeah, anticipate that this is a blue ice failure. Stay short with the anticipation it's coming back to test this support level, which is right about the 200. Arcos, stay long. If you were out the last couple of days, remember, the bigger the signal, the bullish engulfing, you can buy this one on positive trading, at least looking for a 45 degree to come off of here. And V-Built, another fry pan bottom, J-hook pattern setting up. If you're long, it has to open positive and trade positive. If you're looking to go long, I'd use today's open. But if it comes up through there, the J-hook pattern after the fry pan bottom, classic pattern, is setting up. And is this Johnson Controls? Tyco International. Nothing real wildly exciting on this one. Great direction. Now, if you're long, obviously it has to open positive tomorrow. If it opens lower, you're in a bobble. I'd come out of it and wait for it to come up through the 50 again. William, don't you get the index comments when we first do them? Right now, the Dow is moving sideways. The NASDAQ did a doji today. Which tells us that usually after flat trading, they do a doji. That's usually when the enthusiasm flips one way or the other. So tomorrow, depending on how they open, is probably going to be the direction of how they move the markets. Caterpillar, just stay long. Now you did have a shooting star Harami, which means if it opens lower tomorrow, you take profits because they're going to come back and test the T-line. And KERX, little slow curve off the T-line. Stay long on this one. Monsanto, just an unexciting chart. If you're anything, probably wouldn't be long or short this one right now. First of all, it doesn't have a big percentage trading range. And you're in the oversold area, starting to see a little bit of buying. I wouldn't be long, and I wouldn't be short. I think so. I don't know, Bob. I think they can. That's a question you'll have to email Abraham and find out. Usually I'm the last person to know what the setups are. Okay, crude oil, still having a hard time getting through this downtrending channel. And still just sideways on the markets until we break one way or the other. All right, one more. Gas L. Not real intriguing. Let's make it bigger. If you're long, you stay long. Looks like it could come back up into this trading area. Okay. Still not very exciting markets, but as long as they stay unexciting, the more the prospect of them becoming exciting, and we'll have the charts to tell us when that happens. So with that, everybody have a good evening. We'll see you bright and early in the chat rooms tomorrow.